Hey, greetings, peace, love, and light. How everybody doing? It's Mikael here, and we getting ready to start our 8th edition. This is our 8th edition of Ancient Future Fridays, and yeah, we having a very special build here today. You feel me? So let me go ahead and light this Palo. Get things popping. Get it started, just to give thanks to life and the ancestors. And it's a very Ancient Future Fridays right now. We're getting ready to have a special guest. Aisha Shahid, you feel me? Speaking about the waters. And this is a very epic and prophetic time right now, you feel me? We got a lot of things going on the earth, a lot of shifts happening on the earth, and we're here to talk about it today. So what I'm gonna do right quick is I'm gonna send some invites, I'm gonna send some invites to a few good people, you know what I'm saying, to get some folks to join us on this live, but we getting ready to have a very powerful conversation. I appreciate everybody who've been joining, who've been tapping in, who've been receiving this information, you know what I'm saying? I got awareness from another master teacher about the brother Wayne Chandler. Shout out to Wayne Chandler. He's a master teacher that's been on the planet for a very long time, speaking about the ancient future. You know what I'm saying? He even got a book called Ancient Future. So if anybody want more information about the ancient future and just how things have been moving in alignment with that, please tap in with Wayne Chandler, the great master teacher out in New York, holding it down. You feel me? So we're getting ready to start this live soon. And just so folks can be aware of who we got coming on, we got the beautiful divine feminine goddess Aisha Shahid, and she's from Houston, Texas, but she's been tapping in with a lot of healing modalities coming from African spirituality. Yeah, she's a Kemetic yoga instructor as well, so adding that in, and also yeah, she just divine feminine energy that's been doing a lot of healing modalities with water, you feel me? So I got a chance to meet her and connect with her in Mexico, prior to Carmen, Mexico. And how to grow so much. She's been growing within her healing modality. She's been growing within her spirit and elevation, teaching and educating the people, holding spaces and creating spaces for many beautiful things. And nigga, the beautiful divine God is right there. How you doing, Aisha? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just breaking down to the people, about, you know, uh, our history of meeting and, just the divine works that you're doing. Be happy to have you here today because you've been working a lot with the water, you know what I'm saying? And water is life, I'm heavy in water within my astrology, a lot of Scorpio. So I really resonate with the water, and I want to give you an opportunity to share some information about water that maybe folks may not be aware of. So yeah, how you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing very good. I'm blessed. So much gratitude. You know what I'm saying? Got my tea right here, so I'm
All
ready.
right. Okay.
And I'm excited to have this conversation
Mm-hmm.
and to reach the masses to let people know how important water is just in its totality.
Yes, yes, yeah. I got my water right here too. I would say every morning, if you can, hydrate yourself with some fluids first. Because our body's 80% water. So whether that be a warm tea, whether that be some water, maybe mixed with some lime in it to alkaline and charge up yourself. You feel me? But your water is definitely needed. So yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. Right. So if you would like to introduce yourself to folks, let people know who you are and the services you offer to the world.
Okay, peace and love, everybody. My name is Aisha Shahid. I am from Houston, Texas, born and raised, 33 years young, and I do many things. I started off by being a personal trainer, a fitness instructor, so I still do that. Everything holistic and health and wellness. I'm a comedic yoga instructor. I'm in the city of Houston, so I travel doing that as well. I also do ear candling and navel candling, so helping remove like the like the earwax buildup or any like infection, anything that we have going on in our ears and our body, so we can really hear what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then in Mexico, I tapped in with doing the aquatic massage therapy, also known as Watu, while I was in Mexico as well. So that's really have my heart and my passion. So I've been doing that as well. A community organizer and leader, firearm instructor, just a plethora of things, all in the purpose of helping our people elevate.
Yes.
to the higher self. So,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, give thanks, and we got a good brother Kendrick on here. He said what's up, and he's a major advocate for self healing.
Okay.
And I know that you've been on a healing journey. Doing a lot of self healing. I've been doing a lot of self healing, so I think that's how spirit lined us and crossed paths. Like people who are healing and doing the work and sharing it with the masses. So yeah, we appreciate you for that, for making that happen.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, yes, So, can you tell us more about the Mommy Water Aquatic Therapy? You mentioned about it, but can you tell us how you got involved in that and what that is for folks who may not know?
Yeah, so about 2 years ago, 2022, I decided that I was going to leave the United States just because just so much thing was going on. Had the COVID. I'm from Houston, so we were dealing with the George Floyd situation. There's so much things going on, and then in my direct community, I just was at a crossroads, and so I ended up leaving Houston, selling all of my stuff, my car, just letting go of things, and I left to Mexico, not knowing that it was going to be so healing for me and just what I needed as I was evolving and expanding into my higher self. And so among my journey, I was on Facebook one day and I saw this guy in the water with this woman. I was like, what is this? What is he doing? Like, I was kind of skeptical at first, but I kept being drawn back to this image. And so I
Mm,
ended up reaching out to this brother, um, setting up a session. He's actually from France, and he does his is called Nawata massage therapy due to his lineage with the Benin ancestral lineage. And so when he did the session, I mean, I cried like a baby.
mm,
I just
mm,
cried, and I was just so thankful and so grateful to have experienced that and all that I experienced that came with that. Tapping back into the womb and with my mother and just other spiritual things that came about. And so I just thank him so much. And I just feel like, with me having, my Scorpio Cancer, energy that I have, my water energy, and me also being a child of Yemoja,
mm.
I also feel like, no, our community needs this. Our community needs deep healing. And I want to continue to learn this and bring this to my community. And so that's how it started. So I got training in Mexico. Went through 2 levels of training with him, and so what it's called is Watu.
Wow.
Okay,
Okay.
that's the original name. It was created by a Caucasian American man named Harold Duell, and he actually created this in California in
Mm.
Harbin, Harbin Hot Springs, California.
Oh, for
And
real? Oh, that's a trip.
yeah, so and so it's a combination of massage therapy, shiatsu, arm massage, pressure points,
Mm,
joint mobilization. It's a combination of all these things. And you want it to be done in a nice, like, warm setting of water. And what this does is you can think of this as a spiritual baptism, and
mm.
it relaxes you and releases all of the pressure and the blockage that you may have in your body. Think of it as like Tai Chi in the water or like yoga in the water. And so I, when I learned it, I wanted to present it to my community as Mami Wata. That's what came to me. I am tapped into other African traditional religions like Voodoo and the Aisha tradition.
Hmm.
And so that just tapped in with me. And so I use that intention to connect with our African people and the lineage, and also help them, release the burdens that have been put on them just from childhood, from birth, things that we may have chosen before we got here that we didn't know was going to be so hard, that we're struggling with. And so that's my purpose and intention of bringing this to our community to promote healing and releasing and letting go of control and things that no longer serve us anymore. So,
No, for real. I mean, I give thanks and I appreciate you for picking up on that lineage. I got the honor of connecting with you in Mexico and a whole, Afro melanated community,
mhm.
and I got to witness, the training sessions. Shout out to the brother Yannick for opening up space, for training sessions, and it was such a beautiful thing to see, and I actually got a chance to experience and witness through you a session. And honestly, it was a challenging session. It was something that I wasn't used to within my body. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, as far as getting certain pressure points touched in your arms and your body, it make you feel very free. But if you're not used to that feeling of being like kind of in the womb space, you may feel kind of disconnected. I feel like challenges within that. So I feel like this modality is very, very needed because we come from the water. You know what I'm saying? We born within the water, within the womb, and our body is 80% water. So it's something very special about water. So I want to go on to the next question about water. You know what I'm saying? What is water? Is water living? Does it have like some kind of consciousness or something?
Yeah, so water is 1,000,000,000% alive. Like water is living. We need water to sustain us. If you go back into history, like water's been here probably like 4 billion years, if not more, on this earth. And it's not going nowhere. It transfers just like energy. And so just think 4 billion years of being on a planet,
Mm-hmm.
and think about all the eras and all the things that we have transitioned through all the years. Like, so it cannot have a consciousness or understanding of what is going on. And right now, there's living things living in the water, fishes, coral reefs, plants, and so
Right.
we must understand that water is living, and so water has a consciousness,
Mm-hmm.
and water holds memory. We come from water, and we have to understand with the modality too as well. We spent 9 months in our mother's wombs, and we ate with our mother. We heard our mother when she was crying or laughing or singing or whatever the things were, and that got transferred to us through in the womb. And so we have to understand the connection that we have with the water.
No, definitely. I mean, yeah, I learned some different like water like history. Like back some time ago, Dr. Phil Valentine was breaking down how outside of the liquid and fluid water, everything in creation is like water. The air is created to water in the mist. You know what I'm saying? Fire has water elements in it too. Earth needs water in order to, survive and grow. So it's like it's different levels to water. Even the ether, the darkness in space. He was saying that's like a plasmic type of water. You know what I'm saying? And that it gets condensed into the physical form when you're born. So yeah, water definitely is life, and within that memory of water, we can tap back into ancient history. You feel me? So I feel like that's what you've been definitely doing. You know what I'm saying? And is there anything else you want to share about that as far as the history or the memory of water?
Yeah, and so since I got into the modality, I've been doing like so much research about just the womb and the connection and just the spirituality aspect of water. And so even water holds a consciousness, so we can even speak life into our water. One thing I love to do when I get up in the rising, I'll get a glass of water and I'll speak into my water. I'll speak positive things into my water. I speak life, abundance, prosperity, allow these things to flow through all my cells and all my body. And I'm drinking this water. And for people who are on their spiritual journey, or they may have an altar, if you ever notice when you put water on your altar and they produce these bubbles that wasn't there before, when you're giving an offering, or you notice water when you just put it there, it's different things. You have to pay attention to, the signs that are there. So there's a doctor, he's a Japanese man, his name is
Emoto. Dr. Emoto?
Dr. Emoto, yeah, Marquis Emoto. And so he was the one who started doing the experiment with the water and emotions. And if you speak into a glass of water saying something positive, how, when you look into a microscope, how they crystallize and form a real crystal flower shaped flake. And then if you say something, a negative word, how the crystals were still formed, but in a more sporadic way, not too much of a forming way. And so it's the vibration also of the water too that create its positiveness and its negativeness. So it's so much into it. And I think even in the spiritual realm, you know, they say, you know, if you're having negative dreams, putting a bowl of water underneath your bed or putting a glass of water above your head, and it will stop the negative dreams or any negative entities coming. Because while you're sleeping, you're in a spiritual state. You know, you're in different states, and so it's very important that we understand these things, and that also we continue to keep our spiritual hygiene up with water. Water is also a conduit too as well. So again, like I said, we use it when giving libations or pouring water to our ancestors. In Orisha tradition, we use water omi tutu. We put it on our head to keep our heads cool and our minds cool and fresh and from any negative things or negative emotions. So for everybody, but especially for us as African people, it's very, very important that we tap into the water. And I know that there has been so much fear around water, and that goes back to post-traumatic slave depression, because in Africa we had water. Water was a major part of our religion and spiritual connection. So it wasn't an issue when we had the water on our lands, but it became an issue when people started taking us across some water that we didn't know and we didn't have any control, and we had to do what they asked us to do. And so even most of our ancestors jumped ship, they jumped in the water. So just think about the fear that instilled in the people who watched it or their family members who passed that fear on of water. And so even going back into segregation, we didn't have pools in the 60s and 70s. Our pools, either they were dirty or murky, or we didn't have them. You know, the white people had pools, and so that's why we started using the fire hydrant. And we started going to the other, you know, the different lakes and finding different bodies of water so we could have water, but also because we would get beaten if we were caught in the white pools. So there was it's fear everywhere with water. So even now today, we have people our age or older or younger who have a fear of water. We got sisters. I don't want to get my hair wet. You know, that's stopping you from having the experience with water. And so it's so many
Mm.
things that we have to break the barriers of, and that I'm hoping to do that with our people.
No, you are doing that with our people, and you just activated an ancient memory in my mind right now. I've been hearing about stories about when we was on the boats and on the ships, you know, going through the slave uh, portals that they used to a lot of times throw us in the water where it was sharks at. You know what I'm saying? Throw us in the water where it's shark infested and just have us get ate alive. Or also back in slavery times, they was throwing babies in the water with alligators, you know, as food for alligators, you know. And also how they used to take water hoses back out here in America and hit us with water hoses like a weapon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that can cause a lot of trauma for our people. And I do see that with a lot of our people when I speak about water, getting in the water, swimming. You know, I luckily have a good relationship with water. I was taught how to swim young and took swimming classes for a few summers. So, you know, I know how to swim well, but I know a lot of our other brothers and sisters really didn't, like you said, didn't have the experience of getting in the water, knowing how to swim, having a certain relationship with the water. So I do feel like it's a time we need to get over that fear and release that trauma when it comes to water, because water is a part of us. So we should have no fear of any water right now. You feel me? So I appreciate you sharing that. Yes, and outside of like we talking about fear and things negative with water, well, what's some different water healing modalities? We talking about aquatic water therapy, but what's some other modalities that people can do for healing with water?
Yeah, there's so many different healing modalities, guys, that are right in your vicinity. So of course the Watsu massage, which is what I do, the aquatic massage therapy. Um, it's You can possibly find somebody in your area. It may be kind of hard, but definitely look in your area. There's not many of us melanated people doing it, so I'm really hoping between Yannick and France and myself and another good brother Jimmy, some other people, that we can expound it out to other practitioners, so it can be more of us doing this with our people. Outside of that, we have water aerobics, so you can go to your nearest community rec center or YMCA and
Mm-hmm.
join into a water aerobics. It's free, or maybe a low fee, join to your water aerobics class and helping you heal and rehab your body through the resistance with the water. That's very good.
Mm-hmm.
Going to your local spa, getting in the sauna. again, that's just water that's been heated at a high temperature, and that pulls the toxins out of your body, allows you to detox and brings the impurities out. They have dry saunas, they have steam saunas. Where I'm from in Houston, we have a spa called Gangnam Spa and Spa World, and in the rooms where you go into, you can get fully naked, and they have hot pools, they have cold pools, and these different temperatures are what help again detoxify your body, release different stresses and pressure points, but also help your blood circulation. So many different things that the different temperatures of the body build as well. Um, what else they have out there? They have even they have like these floating meditations now. I can't think of the name of what it's called, but we have a place in Houston. I can't think of what it's called, but it's like a big
Pool
it's like a
of
big,
water.
big tub, and they put like pounds and tons of sea salt or Epsom salt into this tub, and it allows you to naturally float, like a floating meditation. And the same thing that what I do, that does the same thing, but without the physical touch, and the intentional connection to the womb space. And so there's so many different things out here that you can find just by looking it up in your area. And you might even have to travel, or people can come to you, but there's so many different, even ionic foot detoxes, putting your foot in the water and allowing it to pull the toxins and the metals out of your feet. There's so many different ways you can use water to heal. Even just going to go get in the water is a
Right.
healing modality in itself. Finding the nearest pool or ocean or lake and immersing yourself in the water and allowing it to do its job.
Give thanks. Give thanks. I appreciate you sharing that. And I want to add on to this, because I'm a water king. I love water and healing with water. One of the main reasons that I went to Mexico, particularly in the Yucatan Peninsula, they have one of the most healing waters out there in the cenotes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if folks is familiar with cenote waters, but it's ancient water that was hit with the meteorites that came in the past from the earth. And once a meteorite hit the earth, it created a channel or systems of waters. And a lot of these waters got a lot of ancient minerals in it. They got many different just powers and magic in them. And I was able to sit in the waters for some time and was able to heal myself rapidly. You know what I'm saying? So to have those waters in Mexico, also in Honduras, they got the thermal waters. You know what I'm saying? The thermal waters are some of the most highly charged waters on the planet. It's not only in Honduras. You have to do some research about different spots on the planet that have these thermal waters. But thermal waters are some of the most highly charged waters. They have some of the most minerals and nutrients in it. They really can heal your body rapidly as well. Also, taking a spiritual bath, you know what I'm saying, would be good. You can take minerals and put them in your water along with different herbs. I like to use stones and crystals as well. And, I usually take a spiritual bath often, to help release and to cleanse, but also, do a lot of spiritual work within the water. Like the sister was saying, foot detoxes and foot soaps is, very powerful too. Another way you can heal yourself with water. And water, just drinking a lot of water. You know what I'm saying? Our body is mostly 80%
And
water.
if you look at any like ancient civilizations or any ethnicities that actually have a culture and tapping in like with the spiritual realm, you notice a lot of things that they do, rituals they do have involve water. Like if you go to Bali, they have a whole tank and pool where you go and wash yourself in the water. Where else? I mean, just all over in Africa too. They have, the river where you can kind of get into and feel that water. They have it. I mean, it's everywhere. And so being, I'm sorry, being able to get out of the states and find these healing waters is very, very important. Harboring Hot Springs is one in California. They have that, but like you said, the cenote. I think Jamaica has a hot springs. I think there's a hot spring somewhere in Mexico that I was told about. And so getting into these waters is even like I know the Muslims when they pray each time they do their dua, they wash their hands and their feet. They're cleansing themselves. Water is very, very important.
Mhm.
And even modern day, religion or spirituality. We were doing spiritual baptism. We were going to the river. And that was for people to wash away their burden, and allow them to be restored and renewed, not necessarily in Jesus Christ, but in their being.
Right.
And that's what we need to get back to, being ushered back into that water and letting go and releasing. That's why a lot of us like to go to the water, go to the beach and just sit there and allow the wave and the calmness
Mm-hmm.
to release the things that we're holding on to. And that taps in, with the emotion. So water plays a lot of parts in different areas in our lives. And so it's so
Yeah,
profound.
you right on time. And I would say since I was young, I've been hearing about the fountain of youth. You know what I'm saying? And they talk about that in a lot of different mythology, the fountain of youth. But there's many fountain of youths around the planet, like we saying. I'm out here in California. We are lucky enough to have some natural spring waters and some natural hot springs. I'm pretty sure all around the country in America got many natural hot springs. Florida is really well known for its tropical waters. You know what I'm saying? And all throughout the country, you know what I'm saying? We just got to take our time to do the research and tap in. But I want to go back to what you were speaking about the dreams and water, being a part of that. And you did mention some things already that I want to remind folks about, is that you can use a bowl of water. It don't have to be the biggest bowl, but if you can, try to use like a glass bowl, maybe a bowl of water, and put it under your bed when you go to sleep at night. I was doing that some years ago when I first heard about it. And they were saying this is the way you can remember your dreams as well. You know what I'm saying? Because water does have memory, so you are water too. So when you sleep next to water, whatever you interact with or whatever happens to you is going to transform into that water too. So you can use that as a way to remember your dreams. Also, like you said, putting a cup or a glass of water by your head when you go to sleep at night. When you go to sleep, that information is going to transfer into the water. And what you can do, you can wake up in the morning and drink that water. You know what I'm saying? And when you drink that water, it's going to help to activate that memory of the dreams, and you'll be able to take that down and write that down. But can you speak a little bit more about, how we can use our dreams in order to like manifest and create our reality?
Yeah, and so and the main thing I think is very important too before you go to bed every night is to drink a glass of water. Even if you want to speak into that speak that intention into your water, I get a glass of water and say, allow this water to freshen my mind as I sleep, allow it to, recognize and remember my dreams. And I'll drink that water before I go to bed, and I'll set my attention on my dream state or astro traveling, because it's something that I've been doing since I was a little girl, not knowing what it was until not long ago that I was actually astro traveling, and now I know how to control it. When I want to do it, I can, or when I want to have a dream about something, I can and I will. And a lot of times they just come, and there has been times where I might have had some negative dreams. And so, like I said, like with that water, if I'm using the water to protect me in my dream state, when I wake up, that's the water I'll throw away. If I'm anything that's positive, I'll take that in. But then when you wake up and you remember your dream, you want to write that down. A lot of times, you may wake up in the middle of the night and I'll do it. Oh yeah, I had a dream about this. And I'm going to remember it, when I get up again, and I completely forgot what I dreamt about. And I'm like, I should have wrote it down when it came to me. And so it's very important. Again, water is a conduit between the spiritual realm. And so whenever you speak into that water, it can come to fruition, even in manifestation, so
Yes.
I know even like on spiritual altars, we use water as well. And so if you have
Mm-hmm.
a strong tongue and a strong faith, you can do a lot with a glass of water. Even adding crystals in it, you might want to put a clear quartz in there, an amethyst stone or a rose quartz,
Mm-hmm.
setting your intention on that for like 30 minutes to an hour, and you may drink that water.
Yes.
So there's so many different ways that you can use the water for your healing and for your mental state.
Indeed. Indeed. Thank you for sharing that, sister. And I heard you earlier speak about Yemen Jah. You know what I'm saying? And I'm connected with some Orishas and Can you express about some water deities, maybe that people may be familiar with, or how we used to interface with some of these water gods or spirits?
Yes. So I am currently a student of the Orisha tradition, and so I have had my spiritual reading with a priestess, and so I'm a child of Shango and Yemoja, and so we know Shango is the god of justice. He's fire. He's thunder. Whereas Yemoja she's the mother of all. She's the mother of the ocean. She's the mother creator. And so it's so interesting that I'm here. I'm balancing out my fire with this water, and so tapping into the water has really helped me balance out that fire energy. And so again, Yemoja, she's the mother creator. She is the atomic fluid that is in the womb that we were birthed in. She is a protector of the elders and the children. Um, but she's the one who holds us when we come to the water with our burdens and our pain and our sadness. She's the one who wipes those things away. But don't get her twisted, because she's a warrior too, and she carries a machete and a sword. And so a lot of people who may do a lot of water, I don't know, activities like shipping and sailing and fishing, you'd be surprised how many people actually pray and give offerings to the different water gods and deities for protection
Yes.
as they're in their water. Because you'd be surprised how many people go into the water and they misuse the water, and then they wind up missing, or their boat turned over, or different things happening because you ain't really respect the water, even when you go in and go fish or different things. And so that's one of the water goddesses in Orisha. Then you have like Oshun. She's the water goddess over the sweet waters, the rivers. Then you have Olokun. Olokun is a more androgynous spirit, and he sits at the bottom of the ocean. So he's the depths of the sea and the ocean.
Mm.
You know, so when the people went down there, $2 million in a little submarine trying to go see the Titanic,
Right. Got seen
I already,
Olokun
I already,
down
I already know who got them. You know what I'm saying? Because
there.
you being disrespectful to the waters and the things that are going on. You
Mm.
know, but that's just you know
Nah, for real.
you know. And then in other traditions like Haitian Voodoo, you have Mami Wata, La Serene, in the Bantu. Like, I have so many different names on here. In the Dogon, you got the Namos.
Mm.
In the
Okay.
Bantu tradition, you have Banzi, Nayami, Simbi, and these are also other water gods and goddesses and deities across the African diaspora. And so
Mm.
it lets you know that we've been dealing with water. We've been around water. We just forgot, the fear has been instilled into us that to keep us from connecting with the water, because we know we use the water for everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Now you bringing some things up now to my memory again. The Dogon, and their prophecies and their lineage, they said that
And my
it
people.
originated from the water. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, the god Nomo Titiani was the original life on the planet that birthed everything into existence. And they were saying that also at a point in time, the whole earth was mostly water. And we can go back into ancient prophecies of Atlantis and
Yeah,
Lemuria. These are all water civilizations, and I know that folks is familiar with mermaids. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And that what the Nomo was saying that are the Dogon was saying that the Nomo are mermaids. You know what I'm saying? That we
yeah,
come from mermaids and we come from a water world, and that most recently on the planet, as the Earth been shifting and changing, when we got more land masses, we came out the water and started living on the land. And
right.
you can see even from these movies that have been popping up, that last Avatar movie and
Yeah,
this last Black Panther movie that was speaking about water civilizations and us, like, coming back to that. You feel me?
right.
So I believe in all that. You feel me? I believe that it's still a time and still civilizations and other planets and places that people are living within the water. So I appreciate you sharing that because we are aquatic beings if we wanted to, as humans. We amphibious beings. You know what I'm saying? We was born in the water and we came out the womb and started breathing air through our gills. But we had gills in the womb though. We had to. That was the only way we are gonna be able to survive. So I feel like it's a shift happening right now where the consciousness of water is raising, and that we are potentially getting back into that aquatic life. You feel me?
Yeah.
So give thanks for sharing that and opening up that. And I also want to talk about the divine feminine energy and how that relates to water. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing a lot of sisters, getting more in tune with the water, going to the beaches and the waters, tapping with the ocean and yummy energy. What's the correlation with divine feminine energy and water?
So when we talk about divine feminine energy, we have divine masculine energy. There are certain characteristics or traits that align with these energies. And when we talk about divine feminine energy, one of them is emotion. And emotion is just energy in motion, right? Energy in movement. And so the connection with the water and its fluidity, fluidness and flow is also a characteristic of divine feminine energy as well. And so when we think about those things, we must make a connection with the water as the water flows and the water is fluid. Um, Water knows no stagnation. Even if you're a water sign, intuition is connected with the water. So if you're a Scorpio or a Cancer or Pisces, you're probably highly intuitive, or you have a lot of dreams, or sometimes you just know a lot of different things, and that's because of the water energy that flows within you. And so, again, if you're here because you sat in a divine feminine woman's room for 9 months and you was baking if up in there, and so we come we come from women, so automatically we just have that energy. And I think once we understand to navigate through the waters, we understand how to navigate the waters through in ourselves. So even with emotions, a lot of times we want to hold on to things that no longer serve us. Old shit, childhood trauma, something your mama said, your friend said, and we want to hold on to it like it's ours, but it's not. And when we learn to release and let go and surrender to the flow, we have a better flow consistency in our lives. If there's resistance, we know nothing is growing, nothing is flowing when there's resistance. And so it's the connection with water. That's all I can see. And so again, fluidity, intuitiveness, adaptability, that is divine feminine energy.
Mm-hmm. Give
And so
thanks.
even when you get mad and emotional and you start crying, what's that? Water coming out your eyes because you were emotional.
Right. Right, that's a trip. No, that's real talk. I mean, I feel that energy. Like I said, I got a lot of water in my chart, and throughout my life, I've been told, to be able to handle my emotions. You feel me? Emotions can come, and man, we got emotions too. You know what I'm saying? Let's put that out there. And actually, we need to tap in more on our emotions as a man. You know what I'm saying? Put that out there to the universe, brothers. Don't be afraid. I just seen a post online. I forget who made the post. Think it was Shaq. Shaq was saying, "Man, don't cry in front of no woman because she ain't gonna respect you. She gonna leave you. Don't cry in front of your partner." And I was like, "Damn, that could be true, but at the same time, that ain't right." You know what I'm saying? If a man, need to cry or be emotional, just be able to hold space for that. So I'm telling all my brothers, right now the time not to be afraid to be emotional, but also, being balanced and tuned with your emotions too as well. You know what I'm saying? And check in with self and use, the water and these other, spiritual modalities to heal, and release and let go. You know what I'm saying? So putting that out to the universe right now.
Because it's actually Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, so it's a very, very important time to tap in with your other side, with your divine feminine energy, because again, from generations, men have been told not to cry. Crying is weak. Crying is for women, and they told you wrong. It's for everybody, but it's honoring and your divine feminine energy within you, and people weren't taught that. You know, I had a brother I was talking to and helping, and he was like, I don't have divine feminine energy. I'm all man. And I'm like, but you look just like your mama. And you came out your mama womb. So you do have divine feminine energy. You just weren't taught that. And when we unlearn and relearn, we'll be a lot better off. So nothing's wrong with crying at all. Nothing's wrong with crying in front of your woman. I wouldn't say any woman, but your significant person that you with. I don't see that there's a problem with that, because we all go through things. We're all carrying things in our back and burdens, and we do need safe spaces to release and let go. So finding your core four people in your life, or just going to the water and getting that solitude time to think and to release. Being alone will really help you navigate through your emotions and what you're feeling. A lot of times we don't create spaces for us to actually feel what we have going on. And so get outside yourself. Get outside. Get in the water. Find one of these water healing modalities and allow these things to come up so you can release them and let them go.
No, I'll give thanks. You know what? I'm just gonna put this live on the line right now, Aisha. I appreciate you so much for you holding space for me always and listening to me, and just being there for me. You have been very transformative in my life, very a healing space in my life, and I appreciate you for doing that work for myself and for others. You really are divine feminine energy needed.
Because our water session was also like, it was so powerful. Like, our water session was really powerful. I gotta say this too, since we're on here, so people can actually understand what that looks like. And pretty much, if y'all go to my page or anything like that, you'll see me. I'm kind of assisting and guiding the people in the water, almost like a baby or a child. And the water's working with us. The person I'm working with is working. I'm working. The spirits are working, and it really brings up a lot of things. And and when I see that and feel that, I keep going, because I keep wanting people to work through it. But I could feel so much of you, and exactly what you said when you got out of the water is what I felt. Yeah, it was a lot of, it was a lot of heaviness, but I was so happy to hold that space for you, because a lot of us do have disconnect with our family, our loved ones, our fathers, our mothers. A lot of us have never had the nurturing of the divine feminine, who was our mother or our grandmothers. We never had that connection. And so when somebody comes into your life and really wants that for you and gives that healing, it does a lot of, even being touch deprived. So even the touching and the squeezing, if you've been touch deprived and nobody's actually done that for you, it can be uncomfortable, but it also can be so very healing. And I think out of the majority of the men who I've had come through the session, most of them have cried, and I was able to hold that space for them and them to release. And it doesn't make you any less than a man. It makes you actually more of a man that you did that. And so I thank you so much for allowing me to hold space for you, and to see your journey. And I'm here for both the women and the men too as well. And so we can keep creating these spaces and showing that we're doing the work together. Us as a people will be a lot better off.
Yes. Yeah, we need it. We need it. So yeah, thank you so much, Aisha. And we're speaking so much about water and just the positivity and all the healing of the water, but also I want to bring up a point right now about just the scarcity of water right now on the planet. You know what I'm saying? And just issues we having right now with water on the planet. I travel a lot. I'm lucky to be out here in California, where the water quality, I guess, is okay, but we do know they put a lot of chemicals and fluoride and many different things in these waters out here in America, in the cities. You know what I'm saying? We know that Detroit had a water crisis where you can light the water on fire. It's flammable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where else was that at? Where the water crisis was at? I just had winter not too long ago. Jackson, Mississippi. You know what I'm saying? Their whole water system is down. The water is brown. You can't even do nothing with it. They had and still having a water crisis to this day. So what's going on with the water on the planet right now? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
It's It's so many different things. It's so many different things happening right now with the water all over. And one of the biggest things is, well, big things. One is the pollution of the
Right.
water. It's a lot of water pollution. It's a lot of water exploitation going on. I don't know if y'all have been tapping in with Japan, but they just released like tons of radioactive toxins into the Pacific Ocean.
What?
Now, what ocean is next? What ocean is next to you?
We in the Pacific Ocean right here.
Okay,
What? Oh
and
wow.
so you got
Hell no.
to understand that the water is flowing and it's spreading. And they also, I believe they killed their biggest coral reef. Um,
Hearing
and,
about that during the Olympics, they
and
killed a lot of coral reefs, killed
Japan.
us. Yeah.
And so we have to understand, guys,
Mm-mm. Mm.
that what we put in is what we get back out.
Yes.
And understand that nature has its own law of receiving and rejecting.
Yeah.
And when you do so much harm and pollution to the waters, or you don't make it your business to do anything about it, it becomes everybody's problem. And now many of us are suffering. There's many countries that don't have water. Just I think it was the end of 2021 or 2022. We had an elder that transitioned after being in Ghana, but a group of people went back to this village in Kumasi village because they didn't have any water. They had to walk about 45 minutes to get water that they were sharing with other animals, right? And so we actually took 10,000 US dollars and built a working water well for them to have fresh water in their village because people don't have water like you think they do. Water, we shouldn't be paying for water. The process of bottling water is exploitation in itself. Putting a brand on it, knowing it has fluoride in it, doing things to fuck up our pineal gland. It has been exploited for the dollar, not knowing that you're taking people's natural resources away from them. That's the animals, that is the fish, that is us. And so with all these things happening, the water is going to regurgitate these toxins. Just like when you eat something bad or toxic, what you're gonna throw up. You're gonna shit it out, right? You're gonna use the rest. It's the same thing with the water. The water is the womb. It's the same thing, and so we have to be mindful about that. States like Detroit, Chicago, any places where there are a lot of African American, high African American demographic, they are putting cancer clusters in our communities through the water, um, and you can't really do nothing about it. And unless, I mean, because what can you do when this is what your money can afford in this particular area? And so it's it's a part of the plan. It's a part of trying to take us out or our communities out in so many fashions, and we have to be mindful about that. And so, my father, he's a research scientist and chemist, and he has created a system and a machine to help clean up water and clear water. And he's going to be launching that very soon to the world and all over the place. And so, as much as another brother right now doing something right now with some water. I think he's in Alabama or Mississippi somewhere, and it's gonna take all of us to do our part. Um, and with me being so connected with the water, I have dreams. I have prophecies that are things that I see that I think we all should be aware of and mindful of. And so it was so interesting because even before I came to California recently earlier in the year, and I had a dream that I was sitting at a seawall looking at the water, and the water was hitting the rocks and hitting, and it kept getting higher, and then eventually the water came up over the wall and it started flooding the streets. Well, when I got to California, that had literally just happened. It was on the news that for evacuation because the water was coming up over and into the video is somewhere circulating on social media right now. But the water came up over the seawall and was flooding it. People were running.
Mm,
And I've been seeing more and more things happening with the water. And, you know, I really think it's important that we become more mindful and aware and that we begin to respect the water. So wherever you are, I don't care if you're walking past a lake, a pond, the ocean, if you see trash, whatever does not belong by the water in the water, you need to remove it and take it out. Anybody you see putting toxins in the water, you need to get on their ass and stop them and let them know. And also what we can do is, as African people, people who care about the water, we got to start feeding our ancestors more and these water gods and goddesses that we believe in. Every time any body of water that I go to, wherever I travel, I give an offering to Yemoja, to the ocean.
yeah,
This is what I do
yeah, thank you.
to show my appreciation, to give thanks to the water, to give thanks to, how it sustains us and what it does for me. And I'm trying to off balance it everywhere around the world. If I got people with me, I try to offset it in some form, just doing the work. So wherever you are in the world, go to the ocean, go and do these things. So the universe and the spirits that are the water can try to reset this thing because it's only going to get worse. I believe in the next 30 years, 20 years, we're going to have a real big water issue. It's a water issue now. When there's hurricanes and floods and storms, you can't even get any water. And then when there is water, they want to charge you $20 for a pack of 24. You know what I'm saying? It's really messed up. Even going to Mexico, water should be free, but I feel better paying 8 cents for water and 25 cents than $4 and $5 for a bottle of water.
No, that's real
You
talk.
know,
I appreciate you. Man, this damn got me kind of sad because I've been seeing this for some time. For a very long time. I've been highly on the quality of water because, like I said, I'm a water being. So when I first came on my journey and I found out about the corruptness of the water, I went on my way to do certain things to purify my water. First thing I was doing was using crystals. Crystals are high vibrational, electromagnetic sources of energy that can clean the water naturally. You know what I'm saying? You can take a crystal and put it in a glass water and some sunlight and let it sit there for 8 hours. It can naturally alkaline and purify that water. So I was doing that for some years. And then I was connected with a brother in New York. Shout out Hank Rogers' son. We were co-creating these water bottles, alkaline blue, cobalt blue water bottles, where even the color of water, when you pour water into a blue glass, it's going to take on the energy of that blue water and help to purify it. And then you can put magnets and copper along with the water, with the bottle, is going to help to purify the water. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah.
our body is the biggest organ, of our system. So what we bathe with and what we shower with every day is very important. I know that, like we were just saying, there's a lot of chlorine and a lot of chemicals in the water. If folks can, please get you a water filter, you know what I'm saying, for your shower. The water filter for your shower that has different minerals in it that can block the all the chemicals and all the fluoride from the water. Please do your best to get a water filter. There's many of them online. Like, we shouldn't have to pay for anything, but there's something that would be worth it so you can have alkalinity in your water from your body. That's the biggest hydration you're going to get every day is when you take a shower, when you take a bath. You know what I'm saying? So make sure to get some kind of water filter for that. Also, during the pandemic, that was a big time that was really testing us with water. You know what I'm saying? Because during the pandemic, I was out here in California, and like we were just saying, it was a scarcity of water being on the shelves and buying water. You know what I'm saying? And that water really at the stores and really not the best water. It's a lot of dead water that they sell at these stores. The plastic is messing the water up. It's adding chemicals to it, and it's not even no real natural water. They're putting a lot of chemicals in there too. So I couldn't buy water at the store, so I had to go out my way to get an alkaline water filter machine from my house. You know what I'm saying? And ever since that time, I've been using that water machine, and it's been the best thing, the best investment I ever had, because I'm able to purify my water anywhere I go on the planet, whether I'm traveling or wherever. It's a portable machine. I don't know if everybody has the capacity to do that, but if you can, try to get you some kind of machine like the sister was saying. And I'll be interested in the one that your father is creating too, Aisha, because I want to support and want to expand that information. But also, we were just speaking about the gastric water machine. It's a brother named Moses West. He's an ex-military trainer, but he created a water machine where it's a gastric water machine where you can get water straight from the air. The air has much water in it, you know what I'm saying? So we can create these machines that can pull air and extract air and turn it into water, you feel me? So that's what he was using to help people in Jackson, Mississippi, purify their water. And Moses West, people look him up and invest into him. And also, Aisha, what's your father's name?
My father's name is Muslim Shahid. Muslim
Okay.
Shahid.
Yes, and we're gonna put some information out to research his water machine too as well. But we need to invest into people like this. Also, it was some young brothers. I don't know how long ago, it might be like 3 years ago. I heard about this one, but it's some young brothers who was a part of a contest in Africa, and they created these water machines or these robots that can go in the water and clean all the plastics out the water. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened since that time, but we need to be investing into technology like this. You feel me? Where it's some youth and many people around the earth that got solutions for what we need. It's not being mass talked about. It's not being put in the news. We gotta go out our way to do our research or let spirit guide us to certain things that can help. But also the last thing I want to say is mycelium. They've been doing current research and they know that mycelium can be put in the water and close to the water and clean up all this stuff in the water. You feel me? So there's solutions to help us clean the water, have better water. But I think as humanity, that got to be a priority. I don't know if even people prioritize as much the importance of water in their life. Might just drink any kind of water, even cooking with tap water and all that stuff. I don't think folks should do that right now. Tap water, if it ain't purified, it really ain't too good for us to be drinking on a consistent basis. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, even bathing in this water right now is very toxic because the water is in bad conditions. Any country I travel to, whether it be Mexico, Africa, even Jamaica, I've seen a lot of trash by the water. You know what I'm saying? There's places that you can't even go to in some of these countries that you can't even use the water. So I feel like as Afro Indigenous people globally, we need to make a stand on something. Maybe one of the biggest things we need to make a stand on is the water quality on the planet. Without water, we ain't none of us living. You know what I'm saying? So we need to make this a very important thing. I'm all about water. I'm all about protecting resources, our land, our food and everything. But without water, we ain't gonna have no land or no food at all. So I feel like that's
And
important.
somebody made a comment on here, Drew, talking about fruit and real juice is the best form of hydration, in your opinion. And it's the best, fruit and real juice is the best form of hydration to receive all your nutrients. Water doesn't give you nutrients, but it does flush and it does bring your body hydration. So when you're dehydrated, you'll notice even your blood veins and your blood vessels, you can't see them. They're flattened because you don't have enough hydration. Or when you're not hydrated with enough water, your fingers might get a little bit swollen or a little bit fatter. You might feel your hands a little bit more stiffer, and your body more, because you haven't have enough fluid come through your body. So fruit and real juice is very, very good. It does give you a lot of hydration and also the nutrients and minerals that you need to sustain. But the water is also really needed to flush out any impurities, any toxins, but also keep us keep us hydrated too. And temperature and coolness, because if you're going all day and you're ripping and running 3 days, you can go a week without food, but you can't go 3 days, 4 days without water. You're gonna need some water. Even if you drink a watermelon juice, you're gonna want some water after that still. So they're both important. I think they both need balance too as well. But that water, I mean, you can't do nothing without water. Your water turn off today, you're gonna be pissed. You can't make tea. You can't brush your teeth. You can't flush your toilet. You can't wash your clothes. You can't wash your dishes. You can do a lot of things, and so it's very important that we find ways to better take care of our water in our bodies with the water too as well.
Yeah, and before we go, we're gonna speak a little bit about some prophecies. It's been prophesied for some time. I'm from California. I'm out here in California that it was supposed to be a big water. What would they call that? Where the water just take over the whole bay. You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be some big
Yeah.
floods that we've been talking about for some time out here in
Yeah.
California. But I just seen also an elder master teacher, Wayne Chandler, speak about after 2024 moving forward, the earth is terraforming. We can see that already. A lot of the coastal places, if you live close by the coast, by the water, might need to move more inland right now. You feel me? It's prophecies that, the water's going to take back over the planet in a certain way. And humans, we need to be aware of these things. We need to, first of all, like you said, do our prayers and rituals. I do a lot of prayers and rituals, to water consistently, you know what I'm saying? But if we went as a group and went to the waters, went to the oceans, went to the beaches, went to the rivers, went to the streams, and did a mass ritual to pray for the water, to pray for our ancestors, protect us, to pray that the earth is clean and that, we can get and be connected with the water, it's going to happen instantaneously. You know what I'm saying? We got the power to do that, but we got to be very focused and intentional about that. You know what I'm saying? But also, just being in certain spaces in the world right now. I'm not really a fan of America. You know what I'm saying? But I think if any place is going to burn or fall down quickly on the planet, it's America, because it's so built up on destruction and it's built up on a lot of unnatural things. So the natural balance of life is going to come and take over these things. You feel me? So, I'm not saying that give up on America or like everybody just leave at one time. It would be nice maybe, but if you can, try to position yourself moving forward in the rest of your life about thinking about the natural elements of life, water in particular, but the earth and all these different things. What kind of environments are we in? Are we in a natural environment that can help us thrive? Or are we kind of like an environment that's going to be kind of more toxic for the rest of our life? And maybe make a shift to places that you are better at. You know what I'm saying? We both traveled to Mexico and felt the energy there. You know what I'm saying? It's a little bit cleaner environment. The water a lot more cleaner. The energy a lot more pure. Take some time to go to certain places to heal yourself. But also, if you need to make a shift, hey, man, it's time to make a shift. And Aisha, you want to add anything on to that?
Yeah, absolutely. And you talk about the prophecies with water and the predictions. A lot of places are going to be seen, being underwater. We got to be mindful. Like Houston, Texas is one of those places that I see predicted to be underwater this hurricane season, and I've already seen it.
Mm.
Just a couple of months ago, we were having a lot of extreme water issues. Actually, I just had a cousin who he loves to go fishing in a boat. He went to this particular lake to go fishing, and he went somewhere he had never been before. Long story short, his anchor got stuck, and the boat began to start sinking. And the two brothers that he were with, only one guy had on a life jacket,
Mm.
two guys didn't. Somebody came to rescue them, and two of the brothers ended up getting off the boat. And my cousin was still trying to struggle with this rope. Long story short, the boat ended up capsizing. He didn't get out of the boat or cut the rope soon enough, and so he ended up going downstream. So he's been missing for over maybe almost a month now, and we don't really know if he's still alive or not. And because after that too as well, the rain kept happening in the storm. Like it was massive floods. There was evacuations happening in a certain part of Texas, and so and what I picked up from that too is that even though my cousin loved doing what he was doing, he didn't really respect the water, like he should have. So I'm not saying anything's his fault, but I'm just saying it's very unfortunate and it's devastating that happened. And so even with that, the rain kept happening. Just last maybe 3 weeks ago, almost 1 million people were out of power due to a random tornado that came through Houston. It knocked out a bunch of windows, power lines. A lot of things are happening. And so, and Houston is also one of the in the top 5 corrupt states and cities that we got going on. So we got to understand about Texas. And Texas had a lot going on with slavery too. Juneteenth is finna come up, and we were the quote unquote the last ones to find out that slavery had ended. Texas used to be part of Mexico, and so they initially separated because they wanted to keep on with slavery. So Texas alone got its own issues, and then Houston got its own issues too. And so people who live on the coastal lands, California, New York, these by water, Florida, we really have to be mindful and watch the news. And if you feel like you need to evacuate or get up out of there, I would say you need to do that, because I think I don't think I'm gonna be
You're gonna
here.
be up
You
out
know,
there. I'm gonna be up out there too.
I'm gonna prepare my family and my community and have a community meeting about the water and preparing and post emergency and post plans. But outside of that, we need to really be watching the news so we won't get hit blindsided. But there are a lot of things happening with the water, and a lot of our family members and people that we know and loved ones, it will affect them, and so we got to be mindful of that. And these are just my dreams and my prophecies and me sitting by the water. And other people know this too, but they're not saying because they don't want to instill any fear. But don't use it as fear right now. Use it to prepare yourself and do what you got to do so you and your family can be okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah, that was heavy, but you know, it's truth, you know what I'm saying? And like you're saying, right now it's not time to live in no fear. It's best to be prepared while we got time to prepare. 2020, the pandemic showed us that, you know, it was a lot of us that was preparing, but a lot of us that was like kind of cool too with everything that was happening. And then once everything shut down, it put us in a lot of fear and panic, and had a lot of people just worried that, you know, we could have been more prepared. So right now is that time again to prepare, to be ready, you know what I'm saying, for what happens next. And most of it is about getting back to nature, you know what I'm saying, being in tune with nature. A lot of us is dependent on these cities right now. I was born in a city, but where I'm at right now in my life, I know if I can leave and just be in nature and be cool. You know what I'm saying? I've been in nature enough. I have my feet grounded in the earth enough, you know what I'm saying, where that wouldn't be a problem for me. But a lot of people, need to get back more in tune with nature. Water is one thing, you can go to the beaches and, tap in with that element, but, going out hiking, more, getting in tune with the earth more, camping, you know what I'm saying? Going camping, being out in nature a little bit more if you can, but, getting back in tune with the earth and astrology and all the prophecies that our ancestors have been talking about for a time. Get back into the history of our people and go back to these different prophecies, and that was telling us for some time what's going to happen to the earth. So it's time just to remember and, get back in tune. That's all. Yeah, but yeah, we're getting towards the end, of this live, and I appreciate you so much, man. This was powerful. This is very powerful. And how can folks keep up with you? And also, can you tell them about any upcoming retreats or services you have with the aquatic therapy?
Yes, so you can follow me here on Instagram at shewholives_91. You can see all the things that I do. I do many different things. If you want to see know solely about the aquatic massage therapy, you can follow my page. It's in my bio, but it's Mami Wata _aquatic_therapy, I think. But it's on my page though, so you can find it on there. And that's going to be solely about the water therapy, and anything dealing with water. I'm having my next retreat in August. I just did one in June. Wait, no, April. I did one in April. I'm doing another one in August. It's called the Healing with Water Retreat. And this is a 5-day, 4-night retreat that is basically setting the intention on understanding the waters that flow through you, and also doing different healing modalities with water to release anything that's stopping us from operating in our highest self and being able to flow naturally. So there'll be aquatic massage therapy there. The Temescal, which is a sweat lodge, we'll be doing that as well. Float meditation, cacao ceremony, dolphin excursion, all the things, water. We're going to be doing that in Isla Mujeres, Mexico, which stands for the Island of Women. Very beautiful, blue, majestic water. It's an amazing scene. So I'll be doing that as well. And then I'll be traveling just with the aquatic massage therapy. And I tapped in with a sister that's also in Oakland, Miguel. I think we're gonna do a water ceremony at the beach. So when we get that solidified, I'll let you know. We can put that up for the people. But that's pretty much, you can follow what I'm doing. And just support and stay in touch. If you're interested to know more about water therapy and water healing, and if you can tap in with me, just hit me up on Instagram, and I'll be reaching back out to you as soon as possible.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Aisha. I look forward to seeing you, connecting you again soon out here in California. You keep doing your work and, being beautiful in your spirit and soul. I appreciate you and love you so much. I look forward to staying tapped in. And yeah, this is Ancient Future Fridays. We're going to keep it lit.
Peace. This is amazing. Thank you so much for having me, and I hope y'all got some good information from us today. And start being more conscious about your water.
Yes, I. Yes, I. Good thanks to you, Aisha. Okay. Yeah, we're going to talk later. All right. Peace.